Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I'm going to let you know what happened on Raising Kanan. Season 4, Episode 8. It was good, y'all. It was good. It was good, y'all. It was good. Oh, we got 2 more episodes left, and child things is being revealed. We find out who killed Famous. We're going to get to it. We find out this episode who killed Famous. Yes, we do. Things being revealed, child. Speaking of revealed. Oh, Kanan got it all wrong. But anyway, let's just get into this episode again. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 8. We start off with Marvin and his crew is robbing Quan. Got them all tied up and on their knees, and Marvin's trying to get the code to the safe. Quan ain't trying to give it up, so Marvin had to let him know your partners is about to, meet their maker. He make them meet their maker. Quan's like, okay, just, let me go after I give you these codes. Well, First of all, you can't be making demands and you the one tied up on your knees. Just saying. And if they off and off, look, they off and off. If they are offing your people right next to you, watching you on your knees while you watch them on their knees, you next. I wouldn't give them nothing. Bust it open. As far as I'm concerned, I ain't gonna make it. So, Anywho, the one thing Marvin is gonna do is call somebody who ain't black the N-word when he mad. I don't think I've heard him use that language with somebody black on this show. It's like he did it with the Vietnamese's nephew when he caught the nephew stealing. He did it with some motherfucker. Now he doing it with Quan. Child, listen. Quan, sorry, Quan, but we already know you weren't gonna make it past episode 10. So this is Quan's farewell episode, y'all. So Marvin gets the loot, gets what's in the safe, gets some diamonds and another box of sorts, and he is just, coming up in the world. And then we say, rest in peace to Quan. All right, then, Quan, see you in a suit. And then we see Lou and his booty showing off his butt because him and old girl, what's her name? Imani? Whatever her name is, the one working with him at the label. Yeah, they're having their afterglow, pillow talking and carrying on. She's making it known, but, on a DL tip that she wants him to be her man. You know how you and your significant other is talking all kind of sweet nothings, and then you start talking a little off the wall, cutesy, and y'all just going back and forth, and y'all know what it is, but it ain't really that, but it could be. That's what that conversation was. And so she asked him to open up about his mom passing. So now we know the mama gone on to glory. Raq did what she did episode 7. Sure did. Raq Kevorkian, child. And yeah, she's getting Lou to open up, and he's telling her he just don't know how to. So she was like, I just want you to be, real with me. And it's the afterglow, child. Girl. So she's telling him you know, in a way that's not so direct, in a very indirect way that, she ain't got nobody else, but she could. And he's telling her he ain't got nobody else, so, it is what it is. And let's just take it, one day at a time type situation. We knew that from jump when she was talking a lot more aggressive than she was now. Anyway, next we see B-Realla. He got rolled up on coming out the liquor store by what's the dude's name? What's the dude's name? The people that he had rob Lowell's place. Anyway, he whatever his name is. So the dude in charge and his sidekick roll up on him outside the liquor store, letting him know we still gonna do what you gave us the info to do. So give up the address. So, and if you're not gonna be in on it, you're gonna be in on it regardless. So, he getting told what he gonna do. He really don't want to. B-Realla's just a big old fine, scared man child. Anyway, next we'll see Kanan and Juke. They just trying to figure out what's going on, and Kanan telling Juke that OC must have hit him at the public storage because he ain't nowhere to be found. And then he tells Juke after Juke asks, "So what else is new? What's going on? Did you find out who knocked famous off?" And Kanan was like, "It got to be Raq. I mean, she did the same thing with my homie D Wiz. Why would she do it with famous?" But nah, Juke ain't believing that. Then he said, "Well, at the same time, I saw her paying off Popo. So, people saying Popo is involved. He just putting two and two together. It makes sense to him. He ain't riding with it, but he's saying it as if it's a strong possibility." Juke don't believe it. She ain't with that. She's trying to find where OC live at. Maybe she can pay him a visit. Child. That's a trip. So they pretty much end that conversation, right? Next, speaking of OC, we see him all nervous, shaking like a crap game over at Eunique's cave, man cave, all nervous, asking Eunique's homies where he at, and they telling him, "If you don't sit your ass down, we ain't got time to be worrying about you. Just wait for him and he'll be here. Just wait. Wait." OC is nervous, child. Ooh, he nervous, but wait. Next, we see Eunique. He finds out Raq took out Quan. They letting him know what was going on, and then OC is pressuring Eunique to help him get out of town because he knows Kanan knows that it was him who robbed him at the public storage. And Eunique was like, "How you know, man?" He was like, I just know. So OC is nervous. He been hiding out for the last few days. That's why he can't be found. And so he finally got on Eunique's nerve, and now he ain't got to hide no more. Rest in peace, OC. Child, I mean, Eunique ain't got time for no BS. He said, "Go sit down." Here you go, pumping. Rest in peace, OC. Next, B-Realla, the next fool that's nervous, messing up in the booth. He keep having to go over stuff, and then he wants to talk with Lou. We all know what this is gonna be about. This tells me B-Realla ain't even about that life. He really ain't, because ain't nobody who's doing the time that he was doing and acting the way he was acting will even say what he about to say to Lou. And child, he divulges everything. Everything, yes. Everything to Lou. Lou was like, "Man, what? Don't tell me." No. Yep. Lou. Lou looking at him like, "You dumb. What?" Yeah. Child. Then Lou tries to pay them a visit, and what is their name? Looking at my notes, child. I didn't get their name because I know good and H will. What's the people name, child? What's them people name? Dag nabbit. Kenyatta and Julius. That's the name. B-Realla had recruited Kenyatta down to the Black History bookstore, child. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, so yeah, Lou is just like, I ain't got time for this, but at the same time, he got to protect his investment. It is what it is. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. So, like I said, Lou goes down to Kenyatta's bookstore. Julius is there backing him up, letting him know, listen, B-Realla is in over his head, but that ain't our problem. We still gonna do what we gonna do, and you laugh and stock of the streets, and you ain't who you ain't who you used to be, and yada yada. And Lou was letting them know, oh really? So now we know Lou is back because he had to let them know, oh really? I'm not who I say I am. Okay. So Lou walked off, let them, think that they got one up on him. Child. Mm-hmm. Lou kind of cute now that I see his booty. Lou got on them sweaters and leather coats, child. Anyway, what was that from Wilson's Leather? Anyway, next we see Raq Marvin, child. So they got information on the product, and they know that they in business and product on its way, and they making sure that everything's on the up and up, and they just can't wait for it to go down. It's all good. It's all good. It's on the popping. Now we see Detective Garcia stanking up the joint, child. He show up at Eunique's man cave, asking about Ronnie and Detective Baby Daddy and them dying together, and then he and Eunique go off into the back to talk privately, and Detective Garcia's like, I know it was you. I know it was you who had your brother and Detective Howard murked off, and Eunique was just looking like he just don't know. So yeah, now that Eunique is a prime suspect, Detective Garcia is trying to work the case. He is all off, child. Anywho, now we see Kanan. Like he said, he's trying to figure out what happened to his homie Fame. He walking and talking with Snaps and Pops in the park while they walking their dog. They asking Kanan about Quan dying. Kanan was like, Quan died? What? What's going on? So now they figure Kanan didn't know. They asking Kanan did his mom have something to do with it. He said, I don't know what's going on. So they kind of, figure Kanan's on the up and up about that. And then Kanan was like, well, listen, I know that you got your connect with Popo. So I'm just trying to figure out if you can find out if they know anything, because where on the street is, Fame was, got caught up with some Popo, and Popo had him, taken out the set. So they're both doing favors, and they let him know, okay, we'll ask around, but at the same time, you let us know what you know about Quan dying, because, he was the supplier, okay? Next, we see Marvin. He find out from Earl that he put down Steffano's people. Remember a couple of episodes ago, Steffano was questioning Marvin, where he had to leave because one of his people was found down with some cement shoes or whatever, and Marvin was in there still eating his pescetti. Anyway, so Marvin finds out that Earl was the one who put down Steffano people, and that Earl's homie Lindell helped, but Earl's cousin Lindell is known for snitching, because apparently he out for snitching at this point, or at some point or another in his criminal past. And so now they got a snitch on the team, which could lead back to Marvin. Child. Marvin, what is you doing now? Child, it all started with that lie to Raq. Talking about I wasn't over there at Steffano's. Popo got me confused. Should have just fessed up then, said what he was doing with Steffano, because he worked for Raq. They not partners. She tell him what to do. So it's best that you divulge that info to Raq. Child, because she's the smarter one, Marvin. You older, but she's the boss. Oh, So now Marvin thinking he may have to do something he don't want to do. Now we see Juke. She looked like she said she's looking for OC, go to his house. His brother opened the door, tell her to come on in. He got something on the stove already. I'm like, don't go in there. Don't go in there, girl. Talking about hurry up and come in. I got something on the stove. No. You fix that on the stove and I'll meet you back on the porch. Anywho, but we know Juke ain't no punk. So he looking, he go back in the kitchen while she come in and he's taking his jacket off or whatever. And she looking around at pictures and everything. He asking her, so what you want with my brother? Because we ain't seen him in a minute. And she was like, I'm just trying to figure out where he at. You know, he was like, so are you seeing him or something? With her back turned, he rubbing himself. You know, like, yeah, I'm about to, fresh fish on the line. Little do he know. He about to, don't try it. Don't try it, homie. Don't try it. But he tried it. And he almost got put down with a 45 in his face. But she let him live. Ain't that nothing? Next was D-Raq. This is David. That's the one who the brother of the dude Marvin took out down to the distribution office. And she's just checking him, making sure that distribution is set. She notices that they're lightweight right now, and he's so high that he just keeps smiling through the conversation, talking, just letting her know everything is fine, everything is fine. Talking about, we love your drugs here. Ain't that so? I bet you do love the drugs, old crackhead. Anyway, so Raq is just putting the pressure on him, letting him know business is about to start booming again any second now, and we don't need no issues. So we need all hands on deck. That doggone David's gonna mess up something. Some tell me David's gonna mess it up in episode 9. Some tells me next week something gonna happen. Anyway, he may not make it to episode 10. Just saying. Because it's gonna be explosive the way Eunique is going, child. Because he got a vendetta. Okay, what else happened, child? Okay, so remember when I said Snaps and Pops find out some stuff to Kanan? So she meeting with Popo on top of the roof. Guess what? Y'all sitting down for this? Snaps and Pops is checking Popo because what they did to Famous is being talked about on the streets, and it can't get back to Snaps and Pops. So Snaps and Pops had Famous taken off the set and had the Popo do it. So people on the street know Popo did it. That's the truth. But through the guise of Snaps and Pops. Ain't that nothing? I wonder what really happened. I hope they do a flashback. I hope they do. I wonder are they related to who Famous took out? We're gonna find out. So yeah, so Snaps and Pops is getting with Popo about not getting caught and killing Famous. They just making sure that everybody's airtight, and nothing can get back to Snaps and Pops. Child. So those two cops is gonna be doing what Detective Garcia is doing, just on a different level, because that Detective Garcia is trying to work the murder of the detective baby daddy, Detective Howard. And so they work in the case, protecting them from getting caught about Famous. So here we go. Eunique goes to Roselli about Raq taking Quan out. Roselli's like, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with that. He supplies you. He don't supply me. So that ain't got nothing to do with it. So Roselli was like, find your own way and get the hell out of here. Again, Eunique. Gotta find another way. So now Lou, like I said, he visited Kenyatta. And pretty much Kenyatta and his homie, what's his name? Julius, run him out the store. And then they follow Lou and B-Realla to the studio. And so they waiting across the street. Something tells me somebody about to get set up. Anywho, so Kenyatta and Julius swears that they're going to take care of Lou and B-Realla. because for them, Lou interrupted their whole, get rich quick scheme. And they kind of know that ain't nothing gonna pop off because now Lou is involved. B-Realla pretty much confessed, and Lou got in the middle trying to squash it. And they don't appreciate that because they got money coming. And as far as they know, they still got money coming. But they can't, deal with the fact that ain't no money coming. So they got to take out Lou and B-Realla. Like I said, they waiting outside, while B-Realla and Lou was in the studio doing their thing. And they waiting and waiting and waiting. And while they waiting, we getting shown that Marvin and Raq is talking business, right? Everybody want to start confessing. This is their confession. So Marvin confesses to Raq that he, did some work that he hired Earl to do some work for him since he took out one of Steffano's boys, and he had Earl take over for that job. But now Earl took out one of Steffano's boys. Earl don't know exactly the issues that he got himself into because Marvin already told Earl that whoever that person you took out is one of Steffano's boys, and that may not be that's definitely not a good thing. So now Marvin is concerned, like I said, about Earl's cousin Lindell or Lindell, whatever his name is, because the cousin was there with him, and the cousin is known to be a snitch. So Marvin's telling all of this to Raq. Raq was like, "What the?" She's just beside herself. Like, first my mama died, now you coming to me with this mess, child. Again, if you nip it in the bud at the time, you ain't got to do all this later. So yeah, Raq is giving him the third doggone degree. Woo, Marvin. Raq was like, I can't believe this. We are almost on the home stretch, and now this is coming up. Raq was like, she went ham. She went off. She went on Marvin. I'm surprised she didn't pull her pistol out. But yeah, she let Marvin know under no certain circumstances is your mess gonna mess up her plans. So Marvin's thinking that he gotta do what he gotta do, child. I'm thinking the same thing. So we all know what's gonna happen, child. And yes, next we see child, next we see Eunique trying to recruit Snaps and Pops. And so he over there, talking to him at their spot, and they looking at him like, "Oh, so you back from the dead again, huh?" And they said, "This is the most we've ever talked with you in life." So Eunique was like, "Yeah, so I'm just trying to see what's up. Raq took out Quan, so I'm just trying to see how we can all do business because we got so and so coming and we gotta, take back, take back our corners, yada yada." And he said, "I know y'all messing with her son, but at the same time, this ain't got nothing to do with him. But he can get mixed in too." So they telling him, "Listen, thanks for the info, and we'll get back to you." So now they thinking, dang, more intel about what's going on. What's his name? Kanan don't know exactly what's going on. So now they know what Raq is doing behind Kanan back, and they know what Kanan is trying to look for. Hopefully they don't think that Kanan finds out it's them that took his homie out, because Kanan is on a mission. He makes it known that whoever took his friend out is gonna get taken out. And child, could this be the end of Snaps and Pops? Is this the season Snaps and Pops don't? I don't know. I kind of like Snaps and Pops. They real low key. That they don't get ruffled. They fellas don't get ruffled too quick. And Snaps is good for saying something good. No wonder they call her Snaps, because she do more talking than Pops do. He kind of chime in, but Snaps be talking anyway. So Eunique just gave up the ghost, and he wasn't told, "Hell to the no, get out of here," like Roselli. Semicolon. However, comma, he was given an inkling of hope from Snaps and Pops, and us all Eunique needs an inkling of hope. Next, we'll see Raq and Juke at her mom's house, putting away things, reminiscing and checking on Kanan. She just wants Juke to, stay with him, stay by his side. And Raq was asking, Juke was asking, Raq was asking Juke any info, in what's going on in the streets or whatever. And Juke was like, ain't nothing. Don't nobody know nothing. Nobody seen nothing. Ain't nobody heard nothing. It's like, it's just a doggone miracle that, or shit, fame was gone out of nowhere. Usually Popo's behind it because folks ain't gonna tell on Popo. But anywho, yeah, so they just talking, reminiscing, having a cute little auntie and niece time. Now, Steffano and Marvin. Child. Marvin is nervous. Steffano don't have a clue, but at the same time, he's just taken a little aback about how Marvin ain't the old, Marvin that he used to be. And from what I know, now I ain't never been involved in no street pharmaceutical situations. I'm not street. I was raised bougie. It is what it is. But I do know some things. And this is a universal thing, no matter what part of society you are in. Once people change up, you know something going on. And Marvin changed up. He ain't the old Marvin that he used to be dealing with Steffano. Steffano say something, Marvin looking nervous. and they pick up on things. You know what I'm saying? It's body language 101 in them streets. So, that's the one thing they got going for themselves. They know how to read body language real well. I just hope that it don't backfire. I hope I'm just, talking out the side of my neck, but I don't think I am. Like I said, episode 9 is going to be a doggone doozy. And it's not just from the preview that came on. Woo, you know how it is. The last 3-4 episodes, it's like, ooh, nail biting. Because now Lou back in the game, so to speak. So, and Juke is going around toting Smith & Wesson 45, 380s, whatever the case may be. They in broad daylight shooting at folks down to the basketball court. It's just a whole lot going on. Like I said, Steffano and Marvin talking business. Steffano worried about his people put down in the East River. He's just asking Marvin, you still ain't heard nothing about nothing? Marvin's like, nah, man, it seems like that's some white people shit. Like, dang, Marvin. Well, that's the one thing Marvin got going on is this racial profiling. That's going to remain. But yeah, Marvin just looked a little nervous, drinking water, just being real nervous with it. But he going to eat. One thing Marvin's going to eat, Marvin's going to eat. It's going to be a potato chip. It's going to be some foods of sorts. He going to be eating something. Eating. Marvin's always eating. Every scene seemed like. He probably got some in his pocket while he got the gun on somebody's forehead. Anyway, yeah, so now we back. And then all of a sudden we see Trash Man. Of course, we know what they're going to find. Yeah, they found OC in a trash dump. Next thing you know, they all down to OC family house. There's a little, situation. And Kanan's over there looking at OC brother for what he did to Juke. OC brother just standing by his mom looking at Kanan, kind of scared. Because everybody know that was Kanan's cousin that he tried to take it from. But Kanan's really there just to, get some intel. But it is what it is, child. Now we see Kanan come to the Heezy, tells Crystal to get out of town because he can't protect her for her own safety. Things is getting, people around him is getting taken off the set. He don't want nothing to happen to her. And she's like, listen, don't blame your mom because I don't think your mom had anything to do with it. So just don't go that angle anymore. It's that's not what this is about. And he was like, all right, well, listen, I just want you to go to your people's house out of town, Connecticut, whatever the hell folks live, so you can be safe. Next, we see Early hosting a poker party. Cousin Londell is there. We all know what's about to happen, child. We all know some other folks there, talking about this and talking about that. The bathroom don't work. Down to the car shop. That's where they playing poker at. Londell go outside, back of the building to go pee, drain the weasel. Next thing you know, we see Marvin in the back of his head with the 45, 380, whatever the case may be. And that's the end of Londell. I wonder if there's security cameras. If they got security cameras over there. So, I mean, I knew that as soon as Marvin found out Londell was with Early when they took out Steffano's people. Child. So then we see Kanan down to the spot, where all the work be going on. Him and Juke. Somebody banging on the door. He sees Primo. Primo was like, "It's OC, man." And then it's a quiet 3, 4, 5 seconds. That's how they know OC is DEAD. Gone on to glory. Hope that's where he had. And like I said, remember when I said Lou and B-Realla was in the studio? Well, here come B-Realla coming out. And Julius is woken up by Kenyatta. He's like, "All right, get ready, let's go. So no, we gotta wait for Lou. We gotta get both of them at the same time. Guess who knocked on the window while they looking at B-Realla from across the street? That's Lou. He's like, "Surprise, surprise, surprise, surprise!" Pow, 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 pow. Kenyatta get out, thinking he gonna get away. Looking at Lou, looking at Kenyatta, looking at Lou. Then Lou do what he do. Rest in peace to Kenyatta and Julius. Case solved, hopefully. Hopefully the crew ain't gonna find out who did it. Oh, but if I don't know, child. We gonna find out before the season's over if they crew is coming after B-Realla. Because, child, he ain't even safe in jail. I mean, that's the easiest way to get somebody. Send a message through, boom, pow, kink. That's it. All right, so now we got Detective Garcia rolls up on Juke down to the pizza parlor. And you know what? Don't you hate when somebody interrupt a meal that you've been waiting on? She looks so anticipating for that slice of pizza. That's where they do their best work. That's where they do their business. That's the spot. That's the spot for pizza. And here comes Detective Garcia breathing his own breath all down her. She's like, "Listen, I can't even be seen talking to you." And he's questioning her about things going on in the neighborhood, and she's like, "Listen, I don't want to talk to you." Gets up, throws the pizza in the trash, and walk out. I know that's right, because if he was to search her person, she got that 45, 380, or whatever the case may be, all up in her drawers. So, anywho, so he left there at the table on red. Next we see Crystal. Visits Raq and lets him know Kanan needs you and yada yada. And girl, she got her bag packed. She going out of town. Then we see her on the Greyhound. Guess who come on the Greyhound looking for her? Them two popos that Snaps and Pops was with on top of the roof. She's like, "How y'all find out I was on this bus? What you mean you want to talk to me about what? I don't know nothing." Child, I don't have a good feeling about this. Then we see at the very end that Kenyatta and Julius really ain't moving. And child, that was it. That was the end. That was all for episode 8, season 4 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please let me know. All day.